Over the years, Call of Duty has really struggled to figure out what the fuck they're gonna do to keep the franchise going. Overall, they tried to do things like put in new various elements, make it more futuristic-y, but of course, people didn't like that, so they quickly backed off it, and I mean, hey, I wasn't a fan of, advanced warfare either. However, they really seemed to strike it lucky when it came to Warzone. Everything just came together and they were just different enough from each other battle royale to make themselves feel unique and actually fun to play. And Warzone really seemed to take over pretty strongly, even though it seems like, at least for the people that I know, the main Call of Duty multiplayer wasn't getting played quite as much. Even every fucking person and their brother had Warzone downloaded because it's free, so why not? And then of course they get the battle pass and all those other extra things. And I, for one, was a big fan of Warzone 1. However, with Warzone 2, I found myself playing it a lot less, and there's a few main reasons that I think this is. So that's kind of what I wanted to talk about today is why is Warzone 2 not quite hitting the same strides or same, fun levels that Warzone 1 hit. So the first thing I'm going to say is rose-tinted glasses, because it's always possible that we are just looking back at previous versions of Warzone or Call of Duty as these fun, amazing things, when in reality there was always a level of meh to them. Maybe Warzone 1 did have similar balancing issues or other type of shit, but maybe it just came out around a time where we were all feeling this type of game or game mode, and so then that made it hit the highs that it did. But I think that can really only work for a handful of people, particularly younger folks who got into playing this game in their early teens or something along those lines will definitely have much harder core rose tint glasses than those like me who's been playing COD since MW2. So what else is there that could be bringing the game's fun levels down? Well, one of them I think is actually the level of realism in the game is a bit too much in my opinion. Overall, one of the things that I personally didn't like about Battlefield back in the day is it felt too much like a battle simulator and didn't play as fun as something like Call of Duty did, because the weapons, they weren't so obsessed with being exactly right for the spray patterns, and there was just a level of the unrealistic run and gun aspect that is still present in Call of Duty, but definitely just doesn't feel quite as fun anymore. And I think part of that is due to the balancing issues in this game. In this game, you will have some fucking machine guns shred you in 2.5 seconds, while you can have snipers take several bullets in order to kill somebody. It seems like now more than ever, just having the right pattern of attachments is so important for the level of damage on your gun, and even if you have certain snipers just decked out, they're still not going to do anything where they should be. And I think snipers are a big one, because snipers really do feel practically useless in this game, to the point it's almost a hindrance, because you're being shown where you're showing people where you are by zooming in and they can see your glint. And then on top of that, even if you hit them, the odds are they're just gonna lay down, armor back up, and then be back up in a couple of seconds ready to go and now have a okay idea on where your location is. And then, there's various submachine guns that when I pick them up and I get into a firefight, there shouldn't be any discrepancy in death where I die in half a second and the other person takes several fucking bullets. Unless it's hey, this shotgun is going to kill you when they bust around the corner. But even then, shotguns also feel a little underpowered at times, depending. So between the realism and the balancing issues, that's already a mess in of itself. And then, of course, we have the other big thing, was that the game launched without having a resurrection map. So basically, in Warzone, you had a specific set of maps that when you played that game mode, you would be able to resurrect until the end of the match when it is disabled, the resurrecting. You could still get bought back at that point, but at that point, nobody else is respawning. When Warzone 2 dropped, it dropped without any respawn map at all, and then that only left as well the larger map to play. Myself, I really much prefer the fast-paced nature of the gunfights within the respawn maps, and so that's why I usually gravitate towards those. And when I found out that I was gonna have to wait like a couple of months until like the next update to get that, I was like, well, fuck, now I wasted my money on Battle Pass now, and I'm not gonna play this game, so then I'm gonna have to come back later and re-buy Battle Pass, which honestly I feel like was partially what their plan was. So, you know, fuck you, Blizzard Activision. So anyway, those are my main complaints when it comes to Warzone 2. I feel like they need to do a lot better job at balancing the guns, you know, try to stop focusing so goddamn much on realism, and they have already fixed the fact that there was no respawn map. But let me get my battle pass renewed for free, okay? Fuck this, I have so many battle tokens and I can't use any of them. It's deeply upsetting. Alright guys, that's really all I had to say today's video. I just want to give my quick critiques of Warzone 2 and kind of talk about why I'm not playing it as much. And that's kind of a series I think I'm going to do here on the channel is, you know, why are people not playing this or that? Because I do think it is interesting to explore why various games seem like they're going to be doing significantly better than others and then they don't. Like Wo Long, for example, there was a lot of hype around and then it just kind of died. Shit like that. So I'm definitely excited to continue that type of series here on the channel. And yeah, let us know anything else you'd like us to talk about in the description down below, or in the comments down below. You can follow any of our other links in the description down below. Our Twitter and Instagram will pop up during the outro. And besides that, I will see you all in the next Gamin session.
This out of my head to the depths of the universe. It's a spell or a chance just to open up a newer curve.